be or not to be? That is the question.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Taking Fiction Too Seriously. Dear Leisha, I had about 4 hours sleep last night and I've just gotten back from an 8-hour work shift. I'm about this close to short-circuiting, so in the meantime, let's talk about Shakespeare. To which you will probably reply, NERD! But, hear me out, I just watched Hamlet again, the David Tennant version, because who wants to stare at Kenneth Branagh's face for 3 hours?
5 times winner of which weekly's Most Charming Smile Award. But I don't talk about that.
Anyway, I forgot just how stinking brilliant it is. Shortly after I saw this one the first time, I raced out and I got the book by William Shakespeare that was written in like 1640? No, earlier than that. I should know this. I'm doing a video on it. Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark. Probably written and performed between 1600 and 1601. So, because I'm missing uni, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this play. It is widely Hamlet, by the way. It is widely considered as Shakespeare's best work ever, even though Romeo and Juliet is the most famous one. Quick side note, that's actually a black comedy about suicide and psycho-hormonal teenagers. It's not a romantic love story! Taylor Swift got it wrong. She didn't read the book before writing a song about it. Anyway, back to Hamlet. It's basically the Lion King with incest.
Oh, must this all end in violence? I'd hate to be responsible for the death of a family member. Wouldn't you agree, Simba?
So it follows the story of a youngish prince whose father has just died. Meanwhile, his uncle has married his mother and become king in his dead brother's place. As it transpires, while the son is still very unhappy about the rapid turn of events, he is visited by his dead father's ghost, who tells him that his brother, the current king, murdered him, and his wife was already cheating on him with the brother who is now her new husband. And he insists to Hamlet that he should take revenge not only for his murder, but also for him stealing his wife. So Hamlet agrees and starts to pretend to be crazy to get the suspicion off of him while he plans on how best to do it. And this is complicated by the fact that he is actually starting to lose his mind, and it's very, very difficult to tell in the play when he's faking it and when he's genuinely off his face, which is what I love about this play, is the ambiguity of what's actually going on here. There are no real clear answers anywhere. The rest of the court try to figure out what made him go over the edge. Polonius, who is his girlfriend's father, insists that he's gone mad because he's madly in love with Ophelia. The king, Claudius, is like, nah, something else is going on here. His mum thinks he's just sad about his father dying, but she's a bit suspicious. So they actually pay his 2 university friends to spy on him and to wrangle out of him what the problem is. He figures out that they're onto him straight away, so that's another thing I love about it, is he's always 2 steps ahead of everyone and playing them like chess pieces. So then Polonius, who's a bit of a tosser, but kind of the comic relief in his daftness, gets Ophelia to break up with him to see if that sets him off, to pinpoint it back to, that's why he's mad, I told you. That plan backfires because Hamlet knows full well that there are people watching in on him, so he just goes completely insane at her. Like, really rips her to shreds. He's an absolute monster, actually. But once again, it's really hard to tell what is playing up and what is him actually losing his mind. So that ends really badly, but Ophelia still kind of likes him. What was I up to? I'm literally just ranting about Shakespeare. So his university friends, in their half-assed attempt to cheer him up, get hold of these stage actors that they found in the street and say, here, go and entertain this guy. And then he gets this idea that if he gets the stage actors to act out something similar to the murder of his father, as alleged by his father's ghost, and to see his uncle's reaction, finding out if he actually is guilty, and if he is, then he'll knock him off, and if he's not, then I don't know, I don't think he had a plan B. So he does that, and he gets a killer reaction. Oh, that was not meant to be a pun, sorry. So Hamlet goes to kill him while he is apparently praying for forgiveness. And he thinks to himself, wait a minute, he's praying, he's feeling guilty about killing someone. That means that if I kill him now, he will be forgiven and he'll go to heaven, but I don't want him to go to heaven, so I'll wait till he's doing something really bad and then I'll kill him. And then he goes off to have a very stern word to his mother about marrying and sleeping with her brother-in-law, which is kind of messed up, and it results in him killing Polonius, who was listening in again. It's like, whoops, he's not the guy I meant to kill, but the point is that I was meaning to kill someone who deserved to die, so I take no responsibility for this. I'm not quite sure what goes through this guy's head. So of course his mum freaks out and his uncle freaks out. They have him arrested and packed off to England. Meanwhile, the king has sent these orders for him to actually get knocked off over there because he's just become a massive, massive liability to the stability of the entire nation, as you can imagine. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Ophelia has a complete breakdown after realising that her father's been murdered by her ex-boyfriend. Then her brother Laertes nuts off, firstly that Ophelia's gone a bit nuts, and secondly that Hamlet has completely ripped up everything. So he's like, let me kill him already! So while Hamlet's away, Ophelia loses it completely and ends up dying. It's ambiguous whether she killed herself, which is what most interpretations of this play have decided to run with, or whether she got herself killed by accident, just having absolutely no clue where she was at because she'd lost her mind by that stage. I think that's a more viable conclusion based on what I've read, but hey, you could go either way. So when Hamlet sneaks back just in time for a really, really, really messed up funeral, Laertes, her brother, challenges him to a fencing duel, but with the intent to kill him. Claudius the king has also ganged up with Laertes and thinking, yeah, nah, if you don't kill him with the sword, then I've got some poison in here in a wine glass that I'll give to him. Just do a double whammy, make sure we won't miss. Things get ugly really quickly. Laertes gets killed by his poisoned sword. And then Hamlet's mother ends up drinking the poisoned wine. It's not entirely clear whether she did it deliberately to try and save him or she just didn't know. That's another key moment of ambiguity in this play, which I really love. Hamlet is dying because he got stabbed with the poisoned fencing sword. So he finally does manage to take revenge, but literally the last few moments of his life. And the argument there is that it was his initial inaction to do anything of what he said he would do, which resulted in a whole lot of innocent people getting killed. But I still don't think it's a good idea to take advice from ghosts who want you to kill people. Like, no one else could see this thing, so he was like, the voices in my head tell me to kill lots of people. So yeah, you probably think that's an awful, awful, awful story. And it is, but it is also probably the best psychological thriller ever written. Essentially, from what I've read so far, Shakespeare basically has two settings. Either everyone gets married, the end, or everyone dies, the end. This is the latter. Some key themes that I really enjoyed watching the progression of in the story is that of surveillance and ambiguity. There are always people watching and listening, and always a game of intellectual cat and mouse. The prime example is Hamlet. Is he actually crazy, or is he faking it the whole time, or is it both?
Now I'm alone.
There is no hard and fast this interpretation or that one. Anyone could pick out a perfectly viable interpretation out of it, and someone else could get something completely different and they would both be right. That's what I really love about it. It's just all over the place. I really do recommend watching this. It's like 3 hours long and all in Old English, actually Middle English to be precise. Just dropped it on the ground. Anyway. I will hopefully talk about something that you would find interesting next time. Oh, I've got a better idea. What about you make me a video? Because it's been like 8 or 9 months since your last one, and this whole video tag idea was your idea in the first place. I mean, come on, Leisha, I miss seeing your face. Till next time.